Hey guys, how you doing? Corel Cooper here. Got a very special episode for you guys today. Filming from Bobby V's spot in Stamford, Connecticut. And I have some guests here with me, so we're just going to kind of go around the table. I'll let everyone introduce who they are and we'll get started.
I'm Dave Doyle from MetsReport.com.
I'm Andrew Lozano from TheRopolitans.com.
Can you spell that, Andrew?
Joe Janish from MetsToday.com.
So as you guys can see, the theme for today is the New York Mets. These guys are three of my favorite Mets bloggers, so I've asked them to join me today and discuss the Mets going into the 2009 season. And we figured what better way to talk about the Mets than to be at a favorite Mets spot, Bobby V's place. It's my first time here. Dave, I know you've been here before.
Absolutely. Bobby V's, downtown Stamford, best sports bar in Connecticut. Come on down.
So there you have it. So guys, I just want to we'll just go right into it, talk about the Mets. Let's start with how they finished the season last year for the second year in a row. They collapsed in September.
Did they finish it?
Well, no. Okay.
They left some things unfinished.
There you go. Yeah. Well, they ended in August. We'll say that. They ended in August, and then they went to play a little golf.
That's the way I remember.
But no, seriously, end of the season, another bad September. A lot of emphasis was placed on the bullpen and their troubles last year. Obviously, the bullpen was a priority for the Mets coming into the offseason. They had a number of priorities, so with that said, just want to go around the table, see how you guys feel the Mets have addressed their priorities in the offseason. The bullpen being one, the starting pitching, and then anything else. So Dave, we'll start with you.
Okay, the bullpen they've done as well as they could possibly expect, getting two closers, not just one. I'm a little disappointed right now that the Mets have been so singular, focused on pitching and not really done anything else. But the bullpen is good or better than I could have expected.
All right. Absolutely, the back end of the bullpen is great with Putz and Rodriguez back there. Middle relief is still a little iffy. I think they're putting a lot of hope into Brian Stokes, blowing people away with his 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and Duaner Sanchez magically throwing well again. So I think they do have one or two more signings to make for the middle relief of the bullpen.
Definitely have to agree with the both of you guys. I mean, you couldn't get a better combination for 8 and 9. Probably the best combination we've seen since Mariano Rivera and John Wetland over in that other team in New York. But we have to take a look. We know that they blew 29 saves, but how many of those saves were blown in the 6th and 7th? As opposed to the 8th and the 9th. And we've got to address that situation right there in the middle of the bullpen.
Agreed. Yeah. Any concerns with Putz moving from a closer role to the 8th inning role in terms of his mental makeup and changing there?
I don't think that's a big deal because he's already done it before. He's been in that situation before, and I think he's just going to realize that he's in a situation where it's a team that can go to the playoffs, and that's just going to do what he can do.
It's not the Mariners.
No, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the Mariners, and for him this is a 1 or 2 year audition for free agency where he can become a closer once again. So I think he'll just keep his mouth closed, do what he has to do, and play it out to look for a big deal in free agency.
Gotcha. Now, for argument's sake, let's just say that the Mets are going to sign Oliver Perez. Let's just say that. Looking at the rotation, let's say they re-signed Perez, they brought in Redding, signed Garcia to a minor league deal. What do you guys feel about the starting rotation right now as it sits?
I think Freddie Garcia could be a really big plus if he can come back somewhat healthy. I mean, he doesn't need to come back and be the Freddie Garcia he was 3-4 years ago. But if he can come back and just be competitive, the guy has a lot of experience. He knows how to pitch. He could be like the guy that comes out of nowhere and takes over like a number 3 or even number 2 spot. That's how I feel about that. But, Mets definitely need to get at least one more starter.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, at least one more starter. I think they have a lot of the back end of the rotation guys with Redding, Garcia, people like that, but they don't really have frontline starter besides Johan. I mean, you can't get much better than Johan, but after that, it kind of tapers off fairly well.
Yeah.
Going on the assumption that we sign Oliver Perez again, just fine. I'm totally happy with that. That's great. If that doesn't happen and Ben Sheets doesn't happen, then we've got a big problem. So I'm fine if Oliver Perez signs again, and I think we'll do just fine with that starting rotation.
Gotcha. Any starters out there that you guys think got away? You know, there was talk about Lowe. I know Andrew, you liked Garland. Any starters that got away that you would love to see the Mets get?
I think Garland would have been a really nice pickup, just for the fact that you could just put him in the number 4 spot and just let him do the Steve Traxel thing. You know, just make sure you have a guy, because there's so many question marks. You know, you got Johan Santana coming off an injury and surgery, John Maine coming off surgery. You know, too many question marks. You could have just installed that one guy on a 1-year deal. You know, Lowe would have been great, but 4 years, 3 years, you know, Andrew's already written about this many times, so tell us a little bit more about John Garland.
Garland, you know, he's consistently decent. He's not like a world beater. He's not going to go out there and win 20 games, but he will go out there, he'll throw his 200 innings, he'll make his 30-something starts, he'll win 14, maybe 15, you know, with a good team behind him. Yeah, we had a good team with the Angels. But I think he would have been a safe bet, one that would have come in and done what Joe said, you know, plugged away, done his job, and kept the team competitive in games. There's no reason to not do it. It's too late now.
Well, it's tough to follow the John Garland fan club, but I will say it definitely would have been nice to have one guy that was guaranteed 220 innings, just solid there. Again, not going to win a Cy Young, most likely, but guaranteed to put up big innings for the season. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I think that really gets to be underestimated how valuable that is, until you look back to like 2006 when we were looking at guys like Jeremy Gonzalez and Jose Lima taking turns. You know, you don't want to have that happen.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of